So you're moving to Northern Virginia and you're looking for a close, tight-knit community with resort-style amenities, stunning homes, close proximity to many shopping plazas, and a great place to raise a family. So in this week's video, I'll share with you everything that you must know before moving to Lansdowne, Virginia. And make sure you watch this video all the way to the end, because I'll be sharing with you some major cons about living in Lansdowne, and you're not gonna wanna miss it. So sit back, relax, because we're getting started right now. Boom! Hey everybody, it's David, your favorite realtor. So Lansdowne is gonna be one of the most beautiful and sought after suburbs in all in Northern Virginia, but don't take my word for it. As niche.com ranks Lansdowne as the 9th best suburb to live in all of Virginia with an A+ rating overall. In fact, Lansdowne ranks extremely high on my personal list. So I currently live right next door in Ashburn. And 3 years ago, my wife and I, we were in the market for a new home, and we were this close to buying a home in Lansdowne, but we ended up staying in Ashburn mainly because it was a new construction home. However, we didn't have a daughter at that time, but if we did, we 100% would have chose Lansdowne over the area in Ashburn that we currently live in. And that's because where I live in Ashburn, which is one Loudon, it's a great area to live, but there's not a lot of kids around here. Now, when I go to Lansdowne, every time I'm in Lansdowne, I see a ton of kids playing around, riding their bikes, playing on the playgrounds. So without question, Lansdowne's a fantastic place to raise your kids. Now, the first thing that you must know before moving to Lansdowne is the location. So Lansdowne's gonna be a planned community located in Loudoun County. You can see right here, it's highlighted right here. So Lansdowne's gonna be right next to Ashburn and right next to Leesburg. And Lansdowne runs across the Potomac River right here. And on the other side of the Potomac River is Maryland. So Lansdowne is gonna be about 40 miles away from Washington, D.C. So if you have to work in the Arlington or DC area, then Lansdowne may not be the best fit. Easily going to take you 60 to 90 minutes to get to and from work during rush hour. And then Lansdowne is going to be 12 miles away from Dulles International Airport. It's realistically probably like an 18-minute commute, which is not bad at all. I'll take that. But the location of Lansdowne is literally as good as it gets for Loudoun County. So first, Lansdowne's right off Route 7, which is a major commuter route. And in one direction, we'll take you to Leesburg and downtown Leesburg. And the other direction of 7 will take you to Ashburn, Sterling, Reston, into Tyson's Corner. So it's super convenient traveling around the rest of Northern Virginia when you live in Lansdowne. All right, we're going to jump on the Google Maps. As you can see, Lansdowne, it's highlighted in red. Now let me zoom in. First thing I want to point out is there's a major road that goes through all of Lansdowne called Riverside Parkway. Now, a big pro about living in Lansdowne, zero traffic in Lansdowne. And when I say zero, absolutely zero. I don't think I've ever seen a traffic jam once in my life in Lansdowne. Now, I will say this though, Lansdowne, as we mentioned earlier, is right off Route 7, which is the major commuter route. Now, Route 7 will definitely get backed up during rush hour. Now, let me zoom in. We're going to go to 3D view. First, you have Loudoun Hospital. This is the biggest hospital in Loudoun County. In fact, my daughter was born there. Then you have Lansdowne Resort and the golf club at Lansdowne. As you can see, there's a golf course that goes all through Lansdowne, but we're going to talk more about that later on in the video. And then you have all the residential homes. You're going to find condos, townhomes, and single-family homes in Lansdowne. Then you have Lansdowne Town Center, and wherever you live in Lansdowne, you're not going to be no more than 5 minutes away from the town center, so it's super convenient. Now, one thing parents absolutely love about Lansdowne, all 3 schools, your elementary, middle school, and high school are right in the neighborhood. First, you have Selden's Landing Elementary School. Then you have Belmont Ridge Middle School, and then Riverside High School. And look at all the homes that are right around the school. So all those kiddos get to walk to and from work, and that's something parents absolutely love. Let me zoom out. So when you live in Lansdowne, pretty much 98% of what you need to live in your day-to-day life is in Lansdowne. Now, another benefit about living in Lansdowne, again, is one of the most convenient places to live in Loudoun County. There's another plaza called Village at Leesburg, literally 5 minutes away. This is actually the biggest town center in all of Loudoun County, and it has the best grocery store in the state of Virginia with Wegmans. And then we're going to zoom out. Again, this is going to be right off Route 7, right across the street from Lansdowne. It's going to be Belmont Chase Plaza. And the reason I'm showing Belmont Chase is you have a Whole Foods. Now let's zoom back out, and we're just going to go, it's probably 8 minutes away from Lansdowne, and that is going to be One Loudon. And if you're not familiar, One Loudon is the downtown of Loudoun County. You have a ton of restaurants, shops, movie theater, But the reason I'm pointing it out is Trader Joe's. So when you live in Lansdowne, you have a Harris Teeter grocery store right in your neighborhood. You're 5 minutes away from Wegmans, 5 minutes away from Whole Foods, and then 5 minutes away from Trader Joe's. That is absolutely fantastic. Now, another thing I want to point out about living in Lansdowne, everything in Lansdowne is going to have a Leesburg mailing address. So if you're looking at homes online and you see a Leesburg address, you're not even going to realize it is Lansdowne. So that's why if you're relocating to Northern Virginia, specifically Loudoun County, you got to reach out to me. I've helped so many families relocate here. And the last thing you want is to actually miss a suburb that could be a perfect fit. So give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I got your back when you move into Northern Virginia. Next, we're going to talk about Lansdowne Town Center. So Lansdowne Town Center is a mixed-use lifestyle shopping center with nearly 200,000 square feet of fine restaurants, professional offices, grocery store, and beautiful luxury townhouse-style condos. As I just mentioned earlier, wherever you live in Lansdowne, you can be no more than a 5-minute drive away, and a lot of people can actually walk to the town center. Now, some stores you'll find in Lansdowne Town Center is your Harris Teeter grocery store, Chick-fil-A, CVS, a gas station. And then one of my personal favorite restaurants of all time is Ford's Fish Shack. And if you like crab cakes and other seafood, definitely go to Ford's. You will thank me later. Now, Lansdowne's definitely not the biggest town center of all time, but it has everything you need for your day-to-day living. Plus, you have the convenience of it being right in your backyard. But like I said earlier in the video, if you're looking for a town center with a lot more restaurant options, Village at Leesburg is right across the street. Now, one thing you're definitely not going to find in Lansdowne Town Center is nightlife, as there's only one bar/restaurant that stays open to midnight. But chances are, if you're watching this video, you're a family with kiddos, and nightlife is probably the last thing you care about. But if you do want some nightlife, all you have to do is go 8 minutes down the road to One Loudoun. I believe One Loudoun has like 3 or 4 restaurants that stay open to 2 o'clock in the morning. They'll have like DJs and big crowds. But this, I promise you, you will 100% not find me at those late night bars in One Loudoun, as I'm way too old for that. And then you're gonna find a lot of condos in Lansdowne Town Center. First, you have the 2-over-2 townhouse style condos. These are actually really good for first-time home buyers, as you can buy one right in the 500,000s. And then you'll find luxury townhouse style condos. Now, these are 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3,000 square feet, 2-car garage, and they'll either have an oversized rear deck facing the town center or a rooftop terrace. So overall, I think Lansdowne Town Center is a great town center to have in your backyard. I go there quite a bit. Like I said, my favorite restaurant's there. And my wife and daughter, we literally just went there last night. My daughter was playing in the sprinklers and she absolutely loved it. Next, we're gonna talk about the homes of Lansdowne. So Lansdowne features over 2,100 homes, with the majority of the homes being built between 2002 and 2010. So Lansdowne is gonna offer a style of home and budget for literally everybody. Whether you're looking for an affordable 3-bedroom, 2-level condo, or you're a first-time home buyer looking for that starter townhouse, or you want a luxury townhouse that's right in the heart of Lansdowne Town Center, or you're a move-up buyer and you want a townhouse that has a feel and size of a single-family home, or you're looking for your forever home and a great place to raise your family with the brick front colonial-style single-family home, there's even a 55-plus active adult community in Lansdowne. So whatever your home needs are, you will 100% find it in Lansdowne. Now, one of the biggest pros about the homes in Lansdowne is without question the many different style of townhomes, as you're gonna find so many different layouts, so many different sizes, and there's a lot of townhomes in Lansdowne that literally feel like a single family home. I can literally blindfold you right now and you walk into one of these townhomes and you take off the blindfold and I ask you, are you in a townhouse or a single family home? And 95 out of 100 people will say, David, this is 100% a single family home. In fact, some of these townhomes in Lansdowne can get up to 5 bedrooms, 5 bath, almost 5,000 square feet. Plus, some of them have a 3-car garage. Yes, you heard that right, a 3-car garage townhouse. I think Lansdowne is literally the only place in Northern Virginia that offers that. So David, what's the biggest con with the homes in Lansdowne? Well, I'm not gonna go over that now because at the end of the video, like I said, I'm gonna go over all the cons of living in Lansdowne. Now let's look at home prices. So the median sales price of a home in Lansdowne comes up to $772,000. Now let's compare that to Loudoun County as a whole, where the median sales price of a home is $780,000. So homes in Lansdowne are pretty much priced right on par with the rest of Loudoun County. So Lansdowne homes, they're not the most expensive and they're not the least expensive. They're kind of right in the middle. Now let's check out single family homes in Lansdowne, where the median sales price comes out to $1.3 million. Now, yes, single-family homes in Lansdowne are definitely going to be way more expensive compared to neighboring Leesburg and Ashburn, as the median sales price for a single-family home in those two towns is only $1.1 million. So single-family homes in Lansdowne, they're going to start off right at that $1 million price point. This will get you a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,500 square foot single-family home. They go all the way up to $2 million. These will have 7 bedrooms, 7 bath, 6,000 square feet, plus an A-plus lot. But the sweet spot for single-family homes in Lansdowne, I would say, is in that $1.2 to $1.5 million price range. This is where the majority of the single-family homes are priced at, but this will be 4 bedrooms, 4 bath, 3,000 square feet, and a 2-car garage. Now we're off to townhomes, and as I said earlier, there's so many different style of townhomes in Lansdowne, and you're gonna find something for everyone. So the median sales price of a townhouse comes out to $850,000, and they're gonna start off in the low 700,000s. This will get you 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2,000 square feet, and a 1-car garage. And they go all the way up to $1,075,000. This will get you 5 bedrooms, 5 bath, 4,500 square feet, and with either a 2 or 3-car garage. Then you have Lansdowne Woods, which is a 55+ active adult community, which features 4 high-rise buildings with all the amenities you could possibly ask for. This high-rise condo building offers anywhere from 1 to 3 bedrooms, and the median sales price is actually only $422,000. So yes, the homes overall in Lansdowne, I believe, are absolutely beautiful. So many different styles, so many different layouts, and a budget for everyone. Next, we're gonna talk about the amenities and HOA of Lansdowne. So Lansdowne at the Potomac's HOA is going to be way more expensive than most neighborhoods you find here in Loudoun County, as the HOA monthly dues come out to $267 per month. Plus, when you buy a home in the community, you have to pay a $2,500 capital contribution fee at closing. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, David, what the heck's a capital contribution fee? Well, basically, it's a welcome to the neighborhood fee, and at $2,500, Lansdowne has the highest capital contribution fee that I know about. So I'm definitely not a big fan of the high fees associated with living in Lansdowne, and in fact, this is a deal breaker for a lot of people. So what do you even get for $267 per month? Well, for starters, it takes care of your cable and internet, but that's one less bill you have to worry about. And then you have the resort-style amenities, including the 30,000 square foot Potomac Club, which has an outdoor resort-style pool, an indoor pool, fitness room, and a game room with a pool table, ping pong, and an air hockey table. And then some other amenities you find throughout the community is a second outdoor pool, walking trails, and playgrounds for the kiddos. So overall, Lansdowne has very solid amenities, but I've seen way better amenities in other neighborhoods and for a lot less money. Next on the list is Lansdowne Resort and the Golf Club at Lansdowne. So are you looking for a vacation getaway right in your backyard? Well, look no further than Lansdowne Resort and Spa. So Lansdowne Resort is located on 476 picturesque acres overlooking the Potomac River and is a AAA 4-Diamond Award-winning property. And I have no idea what that means, but that sounds awesome. So Lansdowne Resort can be known for its 12,000 square foot spa, 3 pools, tennis courts, fitness center, and it's an A+ venue to host events, especially weddings. In fact, I went to a wedding in Lansdowne about 10 years ago, and the venue was absolutely stunning, 10 out of 10, and my friend, they got married right outside overlooking the Potomac River, literally the best view possible. And all of this was only $5,000. I am just joking about the $5,000. Maybe tack on another 0 to that $5,000, and that's probably exactly how much it costs. And then attached to Lansdowne Resort is the Golf Club at Lansdowne. And this is one of the most prestigious private golf clubs in the Mid-Atlantic that features 3 championship-level golf courses totaling 45 holes. So the resort and the golf club, they actually share amenities, like the pools, fitness center, and tennis courts. So even though Lansdowne Golf Club is a private club, the resort guests, they actually have access to the golf courses for a fee. So one of my good friends, he's actually a member at the golf club at Lansdowne, and he absolutely loves the golf course. He's there 3-4 days a week, weather permitting. Now, unfortunately, you will not catch me on the golf course, as I am one of the worst golf players in Northern Virginia. It is pretty embarrassing. Unfortunately, I wasn't born with great hand-eye coordination, which you definitely need for golf. So David, everything you're saying in this video about living in Lansdowne sounds fantastic. It really sounds like it's the best suburb in Northern Virginia, but what's the catch? Well, living in Lansdowne is fantastic, but just like anything else in life, there's definitely gonna be some cons as well. And the first major con, we already discussed this earlier in the video, but it's the extremely high HOA dues and the capital contribution fee, $267 a month, and $2,500 at closing, that is way too much. Now the next con is the single family homes have very small lots overall. Like a lot of the homes, they feel really squeezed in. I kind of wish Lansdowne had made maybe 25% less homes so people could have bigger lots and more private backyards. Now the next con of living in Lansdowne is that a lot of the homes were built in the mid 2000s. So right now they're just hitting 20 years old. And a lot of those homes that go up for sale, they have original HVACs and original roofs. And that's because these major systems just aren't quite old enough to be replaced yet. And when you're touring that home and buying that home, they may be in perfect working condition, but guess what? You're gonna have some big ticket items coming your way in the next few years. And same thing with kitchen and baths. A lot of people have never remodeled their home, so you have original kitchen and baths from like 2005, and those definitely look extremely dated. Now with that being said, you can still find some homes in Lansdowne with new roof, new HVAC, and completely updated from top to bottom. But when those homes go for sale, they're extremely competitive. And if you want to learn more about living right here in Northern Virginia, check out this video right here. I do a full map tour of what it's like to live in Ashburn, which is actually right next door to Lansdowne. And trust me, you're not going to want to miss it. And I'll see you in the next video.